video is going to be going over the equipment that comes with your birth pool rental, focusing mostly on the equipment for the premium rental. You will notice that you are getting 2 tubs and one of them has a piece of tape on it labeled premium. This is more of ease of convenience for myself, so whenever someone does a basic package, I just need to give them the 1 tub, and then when someone does the premium, then they get both. That way, for each rental, I'm not going through and taking a bunch of stuff out and putting stuff back in and possibly missing something. And then once I drop off and we're going over everything and I go, oh crap. That's the last thing that we want, is realizing I missed something and I have to go back home, come back. It's a whole thing. So for ease of convenience, you do get 2 tubs. I am hoping to eventually maybe just get a bigger tub, especially if I'm noticing more and more people are going for the premium over the basic, or maybe I'll just eliminate the basic altogether and just go for this and then the full service. We'll see what happens with time and as I get more pools going and things like that, and feedback from people like yourself doing this and seeing what you guys did and didn't like, things like that. So to start, we're going to go over what's in the basic first, because this is where the big boy is. So the tub for the basic is going to have the foldable bucket. This is used for filling and emptying the pool, for when you, if you have the premium package and you're using the submersible pump, you would fill this up with some water, put the pump in it and the hose as best you can, and run clean water through it. This is very multi-purpose. It is extremely cleaned and sanitized in between each rental, and if you plan on using it for clean and dirty purposes, making sure that you are also giving it a good rinse and a clean yourself. Making sure that you're not using the same bucket to take dirty water out of your pool and then using it to fill clean water back in, things like that. Just being very mindful of what you are and aren't using it for, and making sure that you're trying to keep it as clean as possible throughout your rental. Once I hand it off to you, it is your responsibility. I do my job of making sure to explain all this to you, and past that, it's up to you. The next item that is in here is the air pump that plugs into the wall, using for inflating and deflating the pool. And then in a bag, you will have emergency vinyl repair kits for your pool in case something happens and there's a small puncture or something like that and you need to very quickly patch it to help keep it from deflating. You would use one of these stickers. If for whatever reason something like that happens, you do need to make sure to let me know, hey, I used one of the patches. Obviously, as I'm going through the pool kit afterwards, I'm going to notice one of these is missing, and then I'll do a deep dive into the pool and seeing where everything was if for whatever reason you didn't tell me. You'll also find the water thermometer. This is cleaned and sanitized in between each use, things like that. And then you will see your liner for your kit. I keep this in a bag as well, just in case this rips or anything like that. We want to try and keep it sanitary as much as possible and prevent any kind of cross-contamination or anything like that. So as soon as I get these from my manufacturer, I put them directly into bags and stuff, so that way then I'm just grabbing the bag and throwing it in the kit when it's time to be sent to you. That way, hopefully nothing happens to this. And I do have a different liner that I'm going to use for this setup, so we're going to put this back so that way nothing happens to it. As that's what happened to the demo liner that I will be using in this video. Is I went to go grab it and there was a huge rip in the bag, so I guess that's the liner that I'm using for demos, because I would not feel comfortable giving that to you guys if it was in contact with anything, so it's not sanitary at that point. And then the last thing in the basic tub is the birth pool itself. So we've got this guy. Okay. This is all of the things that's included in the basic package. For the premium package, you would get these materials plus what's in this tote. So the premium package is this tote. So in this tote, you have a small tote. This small tote has things like twinkle lights, the affirmation cards, spare batteries, things like that. And then you have your 2 hoses. I can grab it. 2 hoses. So this one is your dirty water hose. It says on it in multiple places, not for drinking water, and it is bright orange. Your kit also has the laminated instructions and guides and stuff like that, and there is also a section called Kit Identifier where it goes over all of these items, and this is labeled as the dirty hose in that as well. When it comes to filling up your pool, making sure you are only using the hose that is designated for filling up your pool and using only the hose designated for emptying your pool. It is so important in terms of cross-contamination and sanitation to make sure that we are using the hoses designated for those tasks. This is the clean water hose, and it is this one, not just because it's white, but because it is drinking water safe. Then we also have our submersible water pump. I do try and keep it in the box with the instructions for it as well. Make sure that you read the instruction guide and the manual for the submersible water pump before you use it. It is very, very important to make sure that you are using it correctly and that you understand how it uses to help prevent any damage or anything like that, especially if I'm not there for whatever reason to empty it for you. Like if I'm not your doula, if I'm not your photographer, or you didn't purchase the full service package and just went for the premium, then you need to make sure how to use it. And last but not least, another tote to keep everything contained. In this tote you will find some of your disposable items with your rental kit. So for instance, there will just be a plastic tarp. This is for your floor protective. You will have a fishnet or a debris scooper of some kind. You will also have the extension cord I was talking about. The different water adapters. So we have 3 different ones. I normally only advertise these 2. Just because this one is almost like a last resort one that we try to avoid using as much as possible. And then we have the peanut ball and the pump for the peanut ball and a wrench. So when it comes to the peanut ball, I do try to deflate it and inflate it for each person. So when I'm dropping it off, if you're not comfortable inflating it, I can do that for you. Otherwise, I make sure that the little plastic sleeve stays with this, and making sure that when you are using this to inflate and deflate, you do not throw out this, as it does kind of have the instructions on it for how to inflate and deflate with the peanut ball, and then the hose that goes to it for inflating and deflating the peanut ball. So there's that. And that is what comes in your kit.